I've added a new feature called Live Tone Blend Groups to version 3.1 of Affinity, and in this video I'll show you how to use it. For my first example, I've got a composition where I have these asteroids, and I want to blend them into the rest of the scene. One way I could do this is to use adjustments clipped into each asteroid layer, or I could perhaps group them and apply the adjustments to the group, which would save some time as the layers all have a similar tonality. In 3.1, however, I can now try something different. I'll select all the asteroid layers, then go to Pixel, Live Tone Blend Group. This instantly blends each asteroid layer based on the background information behind it. On the dialog here, I can control the overall blend strength and also the color contribution, in case you wanted to match luminance but not color. Low pass and content type I'll cover on the next example. I'll quickly demonstrate the time-saving aspect of this feature. Notice that I have many background layers here. As I hide each one in turn to reveal the image beneath, notice how the blending of the asteroids updates in real time. I can also expand the group, select a layer, switch to the Move tool, move the layer around, perhaps even rotate it, and the blending will still update. Moving a layer outside of the group will stop it from blending. Then to have it blend again, I can move it back inside. Okay, on to the next example. Here I've created some text layers and added sweeping color gradients to them. I'll use the same process as before, where I select the layers, then go to Pixel, Live Tone Blend Group. The text layers instantly blend based on the background composition's tone and color. Again, I can control the blend strength and the color contribution, but I'll now zoom in and show you what changing low pass can do. As I reduce the slider, notice that detail from the background blends through in a very subtle manner. This is useful if you want an effect where the background detail has a finer influence on the blending. And finally, here is content type. This will be set based on the type of layers that you initially create the Live Tone Blend Group with, and in most cases this will be appropriate for what you're trying to blend. You are, however, free to experiment and see if you prefer using a different content type for a particular effect or workflow. Vector shapes can also be used in an interesting way when combined with Live Tone Blend Groups. On this composition, I'll create a rectangle, then once again go to Pixel, Live Tone Blend Group. Now, on the color panel, if I set the shape color to roughly a mid-gray, I can achieve a background blur effect. Let me move this group underneath the text layer, turn on snapping, switch to the Move tool, then reposition and rescale this rectangle so it sits behind the text. I can then use the low pass option to reveal more fine detail from the underlying layer content. By the way, if you close the dialog here, you can bring it up again by clicking on the thumbnail of the Live Tone Blend Group. And the whole blending process is live and non-destructive, so I can easily bring the low pass slider back up as an example. Finally, to build upon the workflow presented in the first example, here's another composition where I have some more asteroids. This time, however, the background is a generated image layer which allows you to swap variations of the generated image on the fly. I'll put these two asteroids into a Live Tone Blend Group. Then I'll show the third asteroid and drop it into the group to demonstrate how that works again. And finally, I'll click on the thumbnail of the generated image layer. It presents 4 variations on the dialog. I'm currently using the first one, but I can click to cycle through them. And you'll see that the blending updates immediately. So, hopefully these examples have given you some ideas about how you might use this feature for your own workflows. Let me know in the comments if you find it useful. Thank you for watching.